Hey guys, so it's time to make my first quick video talking about the HTC One X and why it sucks compared to the Samsung Galaxy S3. And yes, I know I'm gonna get haters like shit, but I think also that I'm gonna get a lot of good comments and good quality people that do wanna like discuss this and everything. And it's gonna be my first quick video, like seriously comparing these, not just do a boot up test, but talk about it a little bit more. And the reason why I'm doing boot up tests as well is because it's very easy to make those videos. A lot of people want to see it, and it's fun to see rage comments just over a simple video. So here we got the phones basically, and this is the video I'm doing used after 1 day of use of the Samsung Galaxy S3. So be aware of that, okay? In this video I'm not gonna go ahead and go over and try features and everything. I'm not gonna do benchmarking tests, I'm not gonna try to do browser. I'm only gonna talk about my first experience and how it stacks up against the HTC One X basically. Okay, so the things I wanna quickly say here is that the phone that I like most and they're gonna use on a daily basis right now is gonna be the Samsung Galaxy S3 because oh my god. I mean, like my note, I still can see myself use that phone, but oh my god, the Samsung Galaxy S3 is, I mean, like almost at that kind of a 4.8-inch screen. Yes, that's a little bit smaller than 5.3-inch. And like if Samsung do a Galaxy Note 2, I'm definitely go ahead and buy that because I want to see it bigger. Okay, I want to see it a little bigger. But okay, so let's talk. Why? I mean, like, okay, so if you go ahead and look at hardcore specs, if you look at the hardcore specs, you won't see that a big difference in these two phones, you know? You won't see a big difference because they are rocking kind of the same specs in most things. What is a big difference between these two devices here is basically the software and the design. And I want to talk about that because I think the design was something that people raged a lot about with the Samsung Galaxy S3. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, so this one is using plastic, but it's using, I'm not sure what the fuck that technology was called, but I mean, like if you hold them like this, if you hold them in your hand like this, it definitely feels like a glossy plastic material here on the Samsung device. While it feels like a little bit more matte, a little bit better like build finish on the HTC One X. But which one feels better to hold still? Which one feels better? Okay, so we have a material that feels like a little better, I gotta say, to hold and everything. But how does it feel in your hand? I mean, we should remember that this is a 4.7-inch screen, so it's a little bit smaller than the Samsung Galaxy S3 over here. But how does it feel? Which one feels better? The Samsung Galaxy S3 does it. You know why? Because they have focused on the ergonomics, okay? And this was something that I also was showing off to my friend, and he was like, what the fuck is this? And that was basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom out a little bit. It was basically, the biggest issue I have with HTC One X is when you hold it, they have put the power button on the top side, on the other side, not the back side, but on the front side. So it's very hard to reach when you're trying to, you know, do it like that. Because you can't do it on the front side because they don't have like a real home button over here. So you can't wake it up down here. But that's my biggest issue with the design of the HTC One X. That it's very hard to reach here at the top. Plus the design is pointing outwards, so it feels a little bit weird, I think, compared to a design on the Samsung Galaxy S3 that's more curved. It has curved sides, so it just feels so much better ergonomically to hold it. And the thing that you can, when you lock it, you can go ahead and unlock it over here, or you can unlock it on the side. Now, usually I unlock it on the front side, you know, because that's just the way I'm used to doing it. Yeah, that's one of my biggest problem with the HTC One X. It feels freaking awkward to hold. Sure, it feels like a little better build quality, and I'm gonna say that the Samsung Galaxy S3 also feels extremely lightweight, but it still has a good kind of weight to it. it still feels like a solid device. And also that you have this LED indicator, used as with the Galaxy Nexus. It's also rocking on the latest, we're going to talk here a little soon about software, but rocking the latest Android 4.0.4 that not even the HTC One X or no like other device have out there, except the Samsung Galaxy Nexus as well. But yeah, okay, so what else should we say about the design? I mean, the colors, that you can judge for yourself. I don't think it's a big issue, but some people get annoyed that it's black here on the front side and then it's white only at the back. They want the complete white variant. I'm not kind of sure. I mean, I don't think that's a big issue. But also speaking about the design, that you can take out the battery on this one and insert another battery. Like if you get problems with the battery, you can easily replace it, or if you need to have more battery, you can easily replace that. And also that you can have a micro SD card, so you can expand the memory like 64 gigabytes very, very, very easily. That's something that I like. Let's see here. If you can, there we go. Very, very easy. You can just swap out all of these things here. You have also a micro SIM card. A little bit disappointed on that. It would be cool if they could have a normal SIM card in there, so I didn't have to cut my Galaxy Note SIM card. But now I have done it, so I can't use it anymore like in my Note, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's two very big, cool things I like about it. Like, if I want more battery, I can just buy another battery and charge it, and then just have it somewhere. And if I need to go somewhere and I really need to have a spare battery, I can easily do that thing, you know. So yeah, that the design is pointing outwards. The home button is very hard to reach. And also, yeah, one very tiny thing maybe for some people, but I freaking hate that they have put the charging thing on the side. You know why? The best design is like really easily to have it like on iPhone 4S. Like every single phone out there has the charging on the back, on the bottom. No, not the back, but just at the bottom of the phone, because when you hold the device, let's say you want to charge that at the same time, you hold it, and as you can see, like I'm holding it like a normal person right now. Usually you have a hand over here, okay? So you don't want to have a messy cable over here. You also don't want to have weight up here like a messy cable that makes your phone heavy and looks, it's going to be heavy and looks weird and everything. The best place is, of course, to have it down here, because you don't have a messy hand down there, you don't have anything over there. It's just easy, it's easiest, the best place to have that, okay? I mean, like, look at this shit. Okay, so as you can see, it will be annoying like that, okay? I think it's annoying, okay? Maybe you don't, okay? Maybe you don't think that's annoying. And as you can see right now, I'm trying to turn the device on, but it's hard to reach. Okay, there we go. I hate it that the HTC One X feels like a bigger device, and this is fucking heavy. You should have it down here, then it's easy and everything. So that's my biggest issues with the design. It feels good, okay? It feels good, but I'm sorry. Samsung was better doing that shit. Okay, that was only word feud, nothing else. Okay, so now we have talked about design a little bit. I think design is very, very important. And my problems with the HTC One X design there, I think they're pretty big for me. I mean, I hate them. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the software. Let's talk about the software. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to say that I hate the original Sense, how it looks and everything. So I installed the Apex launcher, which is like the best launcher, Android launcher that you can have right now if you are rocking on Android 4.0. So I mean, as you can see, it looks amazing, okay? I hate the stock HTC Sense. There's something I don't like. I don't like the keyboard. It still feels very heavy and everything. I don't like that. And here we go. On the Samsung device, what are we rocking? Well, we are basically just rocking the latest TouchWiz, which I think that Samsung is calling it like TouchWiz UX or something like that, like Nietzsche UX. And I gotta say, they have made some massive improvements from earlier versions of TouchWiz to this new version. It is insane. Like, it's not even close to what you get on the latest Galaxy Notes Android 4.0 update, or like the Samsung Galaxy S2 Android 4.0 update. Just look at this. I mean, like, this is a stock This is stock launcher, and as you can see, they also like changed the dialer. It looks pretty sexy. Okay, let's go ahead and compare these two dialers. Even though these are things that you can change, but let's go ahead. Like, which one has the sexiest dialer over here? Which one does look like a 2012 smartphone? Okay, like look at this shit. Which one is the sexiest smartphone? And also one thing that I don't like about the software in sense, I mean, like, okay, so what I'm trying to get across here is that Samsung has made so many improvements to TouchWiz that it doesn't feel like TouchWiz anymore. Like if you go down at the bottom over here, you can see that they've added more options over here. Very cool that they've added that. They've also been taking, it feels like, a lot of features from HTC Sense, because there are many things that I've liked about HTC Sense. Some things looks cool and everything. They've been taking a lot of features from like HTC Sense and from Apple's iOS, and been taking it and putting it into the TouchWiz UI. I mean, like, now they also have like S Voice, which is this kind of app that will let you do some cool shit. Or I mean, like, I don't think I'm gonna use it, but it's like Samsung's own Siri, basically. Let's see, can I find it? S Suggest, yeah, they're S Planner. They have their own kind of apps that they've also updated, of course. Chat on. Where is it? There we go. S Voice. I mean, clearly you can see that this is kind of like a Siri ripoff. And also one thing that they've been taking from the HTC device, basically, is I think that, like, when you open it like this, you can like drag to go into an app, you know. I think that's been taken from like HTC Sense or something like that. I mean, like especially this feature. I think it's good that they're taking features from other phones that's been working good and, you know, implemented, because I think the TouchWiz has felt a little bit old, but it feels very much updated right now with the latest TouchWiz UI. So I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and change to like the stock Android AOSP Android 4.0, because I think this new TouchWiz looks effing amazing. I also think the new widget for a widget for playing music, I think that they've also been taking that from HTC Sense, because HTC Sense like had that. But I mean, like, these animations, like custom animations when you do it like this, very cool. Okay, I don't even think Apex launcher look at this good, you know, when you do things. So I think a lot of people is going to appreciate that. Now, you may like the HTC One X kind of HTC Sense more, but yeah, that's up to you. I mean, like, there are many things you can say about HTC Sense and everything, but I don't like the keyboard. It feels very big and heavy and clunky. I don't like the kind of the kind of design that they went for. I don't like the small rounded off buttons. It's something I don't like. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm just a fanboy. But I think this looks kind of better. Maybe I'm a fanboy. I'm not sure, but I think it looks better. Okay, for some reason I like TouchWiz UI. Okay, maybe I like the black background. Maybe it's the font. I'm not sure, but I actually like it. And I also like these things. I mean, like, as I said, if you talk about the internal specs, they are kind of the same. Like, in most things, I mean, like, they're both 8 megapixel cameras. They're both like the same 1 GB of RAM. They are also the same kind of in storage. Okay, of course you can way more in the Galaxy S3. I mean, like, there's so many things that is the same. But one thing that I especially do like with Samsung is that they make their own kind of chipset. So they are controlling like both the hardware and the software. And do you know what that creates? That creates some awesome shit. So I mean, they control the CPU that they put in, like the chipset. They use their own Exynos chipset. While HTC One X is went mainstream, like LG, both they're running on Tegra 3, and also Asus is using Tegra 3, but they don't make their own shit. Do you know what happens when you control both the hardware and the software? Well, you get better integration. And I mean, like, if you talk about the smoothness and everything when you do it like this, I mean, both are smooth, of course, but it feels like this micro stutter lag that people have been talking about. It feels a little better, okay? It feels a little better with the Exynos chipset, because you can really feel that Samsung put some time into developing this software, and they didn't just rush out the phone. That's why we're getting this phone almost in June, while we got the HTC One X way earlier, okay? But that's just because they want to create an awesome new TouchWiz software that just looks amazing compared to earlier versions of TouchWiz. I mean, there's some massive improvements. There's still, though, maybe things that they could do, but I don't really think it's a big issue here. But I think maybe some things over here looks a little bit like Android 2.3. But I mean, in terms of UI and the wallpapers and all of the new features that you can have, the updated new sound card. They have now S Voice Beam. They have all of these S apps and everything. I think TouchWiz, the new TouchWiz, looks amazing. I think it feels better than HTC Sense. And I mean, like, it seems like Apple, or it feels like Samsung is doing it again and beating HTC just by an inch, just like they did like last year with an S2 versus HTC Sensation. Even though I've never bought the HTC Sensation, so maybe I shouldn't tell you that much. But from what I've heard, it really feels the S3 is an amazing device, okay? And I'm gonna make more comparisons and everything. But this was just my quick thoughts, just after a day of use on this device. And yeah, so to sum it up, my biggest problems and issues with the HTC One X is, of course, the camera, okay? If you talk about the design, I don't freaking like this thing on the side. I don't like that it feels like a bulky and fat phone. I don't like that, and I especially don't like that it's hard to reach the home button. And I just love it how easy and how slim this device feels, just because they rounded it off so much more than the HTC One X. That's something that they did very good with, okay? Sammy did a very good job with that. And in fact, that I really appreciate that it didn't remove the home button, but they made it a little bit more slimmed down. And I don't know why people say that this looks like an ugly device. I mean, like, it looks way better in reality, okay? I thought that I was going to be, or like that I were going to be annoyed by this thing, that the home button, they would have this little area over here. But I mean, in fact, that it looks kind of good, okay? It looks very good. The new LED indicator, Gorilla Glass 2 that I haven't even tested yet, but should be so much more durable, so when you use it, you don't have to be careful about throwing it around and everything. It feels nice, okay? It feels very nice, and I still haven't seen HTC fix their camera issues. I mean, I still get like 19 to 23 frames per second. Even though the quality could still feel a little bit better on the HTC One X camera sometimes, but that lag really destroys everything, okay? Now, of course, I want to talk about video. Now, what I want to see in like the Galaxy S4, I can quickly mention here is, and some things that Samsung could have improved even more on the Galaxy S3 is, of course, the Super AMOLED screen. We would love to see like a Super AMOLED Plus or something new that we haven't seen before. Would also love a better camera. I mean, like, the camera doesn't lag like in the video mode. You take like 29 FPS, but the pictures and everything doesn't look like they improved the camera so much from the S2. And then what else? What else can they improve? So it's the camera that they can improve even more. Let's see. I mean, like, there's some small things. I think some very small things, but it doesn't have like a major issue from what I've seen. My major issue is the camera on the HTC One X and the design of the device. And that is, to sum it up here, yeah, that's my quick little thoughts here. I probably haven't talked about every single thing in this video that I think about these two devices, but if I feel that I want to cover something even further down the road, I'm definitely going to go ahead and make a video about it. But yeah, so far I am surprised of how good the S3 feels compared to the S2. So yeah, and yeah, bye bye.